Just tell everybody, I'm Mike from Adrenaline Armory, and I'm interviewing Dennis from Ghost Bath. Here you're signed to Nuclear Blast Records. Um, so was that, how many albums have you been with Nuclear Blast now? Just the last one? And,
Yeah, this will be the last one on this contract. We did three. They re-released Moon Lover, and then Star Mourner, and then this Self Loather is the third one. Um, they're great to work with, so we might do another one with them. You never know. It's just this is the last one we're contracted to do with them. So
okay.
yep.
So going back to the beginning, you started out the project yourself, right? Ghost Bath was just you in the beginning?
Yes and no. So when I first started it, I wanted it to be a full band. Um, so I got some people together. I lived in North Dakota, and so people were far away. I got people from Minneapolis, which is an 8-hour drive, just to practice. Somebody from Fargo and someone from Bismarck. Fargo was about 5 hours. Bismarck's like 2-hour drive. So we were all over the place, and we met up to practice one time. And I wanted like a cello player is going to kind of be a different project. But then I showed them the demos of the first EP, just like the self-titled, and they didn't like the vocals, which are like the high-pitched DSBM type scream. And so they're like, oh, I don't really want to do that. So then I'm like, okay, well, I'll just release it myself because I like the vocals. And so that's it kind of started as a full band, and then it just went to me, and I just wrote all the music and recorded all the music myself. And then I've slowly transitioned back into a full band. So the self-titled EP, Funeral, Moon Lover, it was all me. On Star Mourner, I wrote everything, but then the full band recorded it. And then now on this new one, the full band both wrote and recorded all the music.
Okay.
So now we're a full band again.
Cool. So when you're going from like doing it all yourself to like finding the members, like how hard was the process of finding people who fit into your concept that you had going on?
Well, when I was ready, so when I was finding members the second time, that was after being signed to Nuclear Blast. So I was just looking for a live band because I wasn't going to play on stage just by myself. And I knew I was in previous bands since I was like 12 years old. And so I knew a ton of other bands. I knew a ton of other musicians. And I just asked people from this band called Alistair Hennessy. They're from Minneapolis. I knew they were good guys. I knew they knew how to play their instruments. And that was everyone except the drummer. And then our drummer, Jason, who's amazing drummer. The guys knew him from another band. And so it was just kind of like connections. And then when we all met up and everyone like had memorized the songs and we could play them pretty quickly. We were pretty tight, and we just had the same members since then. That was back in 2016. Yeah. So we've been together for 5 years now, and we have the same members.
Cool. So then it's end of October when Self Loather comes out, correct?
Yep, that'll be October 29th. I wanted it to be Halloween, but I think they only do Fridays at Nuclear Blast, so close enough.
Okay.
It's as close as we can get.
They didn't get. So this is like the last of a trilogy. Like, can you kind of explain like between the other two albums and this one, like what how do they all compare for like the concept of this trilogy?
Yeah. So the trilogy was based on an abstract artist's well, it's based on multiple things at the same time. So it was like an abstract artist's basic human emotions. He listed three. His name is Mark Rothko. His paintings sell for like millions of dollars now, but he committed suicide. So it was I don't even remember what the it was like Joy, which was Star Mourner. This newest one was Doom, which is like not like Doom like the genre, but sort of a heavy sense of doom, like the human emotion doom. And that's what this one's based off of. And then the first one was like Tragedy, which is Moon Lover. So I kind of took those concepts, and of course we're depressive black metal, so there is going to be that depressive, sad sound to every album. But I just took that through the lens of tragedy, ecstasy, and doom. And so that was that concept. Then for the names, I was going to do the moon, the stars, and the sun. But I changed the sun loather last minute to self loather because I think it kind of fit better with kind of the lyrics and the themes of this album. And so, yeah, so there's the start. And then the last one was also Dante's Inferno trilogy. I went, so like Moon Lover is kind of purgatory. Star Mourner is definitely like heaven with all the angels themes. And then this one's supposed to be closer to hell. So that was kind of the idea behind it. And I had that planned out since the beginning, since like 5-6 years ago. So.
Okay. When I guess for the original question I had planned on asking, I was going to ask you like when you write music, like how do you put yourself in like the mood, or what do you have to do to get you into the right mindset to be able to write the music for these albums, or especially for the newer album?
Mm-hmm. So usually I'll write or play music when I have like negative thoughts or negative energy. I like to turn that into something creative and constructive. I've become really good at doing that. And so, yeah, usually I don't try to force it. If I don't sit down, I'm like, oh, I'm going to write music today. I'll be in that mood or mindset first. And then I'll be like, okay, now's the time to write music. So I kind of wait for it to happen. And then I try to write everything within like one session per song. So it's kind of like one singular idea. I mean, this album was a little bit different because we had everyone writing it. So it wasn't just me. That's what I did with all the previous albums. But this one, like with my demos, I would do, okay, I'm going to demo this kind of song, and it'd be all in one session. But then we would send it back and forth just over the internet and like listen, give ideas. And then we would like get together and jam on it. And then it would kind of evolve that way. So this album was written a lot different than the previous ones, where I would kind of get into that mindset, be like, okay, it's time to write a song, sit down and just write it start to finish. I would just like layer the parts over, layer the lyrics, layer the piano, then it'd be done. Yeah, wow. In like a couple hours. Yeah.
So this newest album, like, you know, about how long did it take to like create all the music for the album?
It's hard to say because it was just like super sporadic and on and off. We probably started writing at the end of 2019. We were started on the first song, but it wasn't like a constant, like every day I'm working on it type thing. It was more, okay, we're working on this album, and then, oh, I got this idea, we'll send it. And then COVID happened. So we couldn't really get together, and that extended it. And then they're all in Minneapolis. So the protests, the George Floyd protests were right down the street. That paused everything. Like there's so much going on, but we weren't in a rush with it because we knew we couldn't tour anyway on the record. So we're just like, okay, when we get it done, we'll get it done, and then we'll release it. And so, yeah, it was just kind of a mixture of playing ourselves, playing together, sending things back and forth. And then even one song, we're like, okay, this is the basic riff. And then we wrote it kind of in the studio as we went. We're like, okay, let's just write it while we're here. And it was fun to just kind of experiment with writing in a different way, where like I'm super minimalistic and I like to play in like 4/4, really straightforward stuff. And then our other guitarist plays in like off time, and he can write riffs like that. And they just bring different things to the table that I would never write myself. And so that all like melded together, and it kind of gave a full band feel instead of just like a one-man project.
Cool. So, you know, mentioned with COVID and everything, is there any, I mean, compared to like how, like, you know, like Nuclear Blast would be, I'm assuming there's some type of contract saying like they're do they like kind of like say they want you to tour so often or play so many shows? And I'm assuming with COVID, you probably kind of rearrange that concept a little bit. You know, it's like, do they have goals? Like you have to get out and start promoting the album right after it comes out, or?
No, there's nothing like that in the contract at all. They're super cool. Like they gave us full creative control. They're not like, oh, like redo this song or I don't like this. They take what we give them and they don't say like, oh, you have to tour this often, you have to play this many shows, anything like that. At least not in our contract. I can't speak for like anyone else on the label or any other labels. I know some labels really push to have the band tour. And I mean, we like touring anyway, so we want to as much as possible. But yeah, we're not like obligated to do it at all. So
Cool.
it's up to our discretion.
Well, I'm definitely hoping you come into Madison at some point. I'd love to check that out.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I have a friend from that area. He's in a band Choke. I don't know if you've heard of
Oh,
them.
yes. They're brand new, aren't they?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
I think they just had their first show like a week ago.
Yeah. Yep. That's them. My friend Caleb's in that band. He actually filled in for our guitarist John on the Art is Murder tour. So he played guitar in Ghost Bath for like 2 months on that tour around the US and Canada. He's a really cool guy. But yeah, I like their new stuff. So
I'm pretty excited to check them out live sometime. So now that I see they're playing out and stuff, I gotta check their schedule and find out when they're playing.
Yeah.
So yeah, actually, I work in Madison, Wisconsin at a venue called Crucible. It's like a nightclub. We have like being told up to like 400 people there. So, but I set up metal shows occasionally there too. So if you're ever want to play in Madison, just let me know.
Yeah, and we might because we're always coming out of Minneapolis. So if we have to come out of Minneapolis and head to the East Coast or whatever to start a tour, we would definitely play in Wisconsin on the way out. Or yeah, that'd be cool.
Sweet. So I did check out. There's a song on Bandcamp to Convince Me to Bleed. I checked that out. Actually, just found it today. I didn't realize it was there. I mean, was that just put up there recently? I swear I just looked at Bandcamp not long ago and it wasn't there yet.
Yeah, it came out Friday the 13th.
Okay. So
last month. Today's the 1st. So yeah, August 13th.
Is there any more like singles being released before the album comes out?
Yeah, there's I think we're releasing 2 more before it comes out, and we're doing one Friday actually in 2 days is the next one. And that's the one with CJ from The Art is Murder does guest vocals on it. We like became friends with him on that tour. So we asked him to hook us up with some vocals. I think it turned out pretty cool. So yeah, that one comes out Friday with just like a visualizer with it on YouTube, okay. Spotify. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, actually I was playing that too. I was playing this song just a little while ago before I was kind of checking out some of the different pages like on Twitter and all that stuff to try and do a little bit of research. And my wife just heard it's she was like, "Is this who you're interviewing?" I was like, "Yeah," because she's stoked about she's a fan as well now.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, I was looking on was it selfloather.com, and there was a link to like your merch and stuff. So I love the artwork for it. I don't know, was that something like who did the artwork for the album?
That was the Polish painter Beksinski. He's pretty famous. He does people have used his art for covers and stuff, but he does really dark, like dystopian paintings.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we had to license it from a museum in Poland. Had to figure out the pages and like figure out which email I had to hit up because he was murdered over $100. Like he owed somebody $100 or something, and they stabbed him to death, I think. So unfortunate because he is an amazing painter.
Yeah.
And, so all of his pieces went to this museum, and they kind of own the rights of it now. So I emailed the museum head, paid them for the license, and now we can use it. But yeah, I found it. I just randomly, like all of our artwork, I randomly stumbled upon it. And when I see the art piece for the cover, I immediately know it, like the Moonlover one, Star Mourner. As soon as I saw it, I'm like, that's it. I need that. And then I just work on getting it. So yeah.
Yeah, they're all really cool, actually. So yeah, I'm already eyeing up a self-loader t-shirt. Some of that off the website. So I have one question. I actually kind of posted on my Facebook, that I was going to do in this interview to see if anybody had any questions.
Sure.
So one guy, Tony, on my Facebook, he said, this is the question. He said, because he runs and makes vaporwave, does he plan on adding any vaporwave elements to Ghost Bath?
That's funny because in our band group chat, we were discussing that the other day because we were like, I don't even know if we'll get to tour on this album because you never know. Like you see tours getting canceled all the time still.
Right.
And so we were thinking, let's just write another album. We don't want to like sit around on our hands. And we were just throwing out ideas, and that was one of them that came up. I don't know if we'll do it, but it's definitely something I've thought about. We might do it. I like vaporwave. I like black metal. I think they can work together. It just depends how you do it. So we'll see. Yeah.
So then there's like a part 2 of the question. It's like, have you heard of Clay Lemansky's vaporwave metal project called 9 and 33 Larino?
No.
So he actually gave me a link to. I can send you the link. He sent me.
Yeah. I'd be interested in that.
It was actually pretty cool. So I haven't heard of it before either. But yeah, he was actually listed at work for a while since he sent me the link and stuff. So yeah, I can send that over to you. So
yeah, I know a couple of black metal vaporwave crossovers. There's not too many, and they're mostly vaporwave. They're not mostly metal, which I think if we did it would be mostly black metal with like a splash of vaporwave. But these are like mostly vaporwave with a little black metal. And there's one called Winter Quilt that I put out on my label. I put out both of his albums on my label. And then one is called Fire Tools, and they're pretty crazy. You should check out Fire Tools and Winter Quilt. I don't know if you'd like it. It's like pretty chaotic, and it's hard to explain really. It's like MIDI stuff and guitar and screaming and vaporwave vocals and all over the place. So yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah, definitely. I'll definitely check those out. So checking out all the music and stuff like that, I was kind of wondering, I was trying to look at like what influenced music in general. Like if you go way back to when you first got interested in being a musician, like what were you into back then compared to like how you are now? Has it really progressed from something? I mean, I listened to a lot of stuff I don't want to admit I listened to back when I was younger. So I mean, just kind of like, what was your history of getting to where you are now music wise?
When I first started guitar, okay, let me start. I grew up in the Midwest, and in the Midwest, at least when I grew up, it was like the early 2000s. Everyone was super into like hardcore, post-hardcore, a lot of Christian hardcore, like Under Oath, The Chariot, Norma Jean, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's kind of the first type of stuff I was trying to play. And I was in like a noisy hardcore band. We wouldn't wear any shoes. We'd like climb on all the equipment, hang from the ceilings and stuff. Just like try to act as crazy as possible and throw our guitars around, that kind of thing. And that's where I started. And it's all very like melodic stuff. And we really like to be like super loud and have like a wall of sound going. I think that kind of carried over into the Ghost Bath stuff. And so with that band, we were around for a while. And our last album we recorded with Josh Schroeder, who also did the first 3 Ghost Bath albums, the first 2 Ghost Bath albums. And I thought it was like a super good album, and we like toured on it and pushed it. We never really got anywhere. So I kind of just like gave up on music almost. I went back to college and I was like, all right, well, if this doesn't make it, screw it. And then I like started Ghost Bath just kind of on the side. I'd always listened to black metal. Like it wasn't my main genre ever until I picked up a record by Agalloch called Marrow of the Spirit, just by the artwork. Like I never even heard of the band. I was like, oh, this looks cool. I'll buy it at my local record shop. And it just like blew my mind. I was like, okay, I'm just going to make something like this on my own. And I'd seen have you seen those Vice documentaries that are like one man black metal?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like saw those and I was like, oh, I could just do it myself. And so that's kind of where all these ideas came in. And I was still going to school. So I just made the album. At the time, my basement flooded with water where I was living. Oh. I was living in a college house with like 6-7 other guys. It was like a party house, but I was in the basement room and it just started flooding. So I had to move back into my parents' basement, and I didn't even like have a room. My mattress was on the floor, and I like made the first EP I plugged my computer into their TV as a monitor, and I like recorded the album there, and that's kind of where that started. So
In the flood?
no, in my parents' basement. I had to
Oh,
move.
okay.
I had to move everything out in one day, and like half of it was soaked, and yeah, I had to get out of there.
Hmm.
And then yeah, I was just sleeping in my parents' basement. Plugged that in. I was like, okay, I'll just make this. I have nothing else to do, and I made that album.
Cool.
And it was with a demo version of FL Studio because I couldn't afford it, and it was like $100 guitar. I forgot what the brand was, like Austin or something.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I didn't really have any equipment or anything. I just programmed the drums. I had a little keyboard, played that. Yeah, that's how it started.
Cool. So, yeah, since you're not too, you're talking about maybe possibly like starting on another album already. I mean, is there like I mean, aside from Vaporwave, is there any other kind of like ideas of what you want to try next? You know, for style wise or concepts or moods?
This one's not as planned out as like the previous ones because the trilogy's done. So like that was completely planned out. Now it could go any direction really still. I think we're just like kind of in the conceptual stage. We're just like throwing out ideas. Oh, I like that. Oh, I don't like that idea. And we haven't really landed on anything yet. We haven't discussed it too hard. I mean, we're still releasing singles and this album's not even out yet. So we're not like rushing it right now, but we're just kind of in the stage where we're just throwing out ideas and trying to figure it out. It could go in a lot of different directions. I'm not sure where we're going to take it yet, I think. But it sounds like people are liking the sound of the new single. So
yeah,
we might want to like stick closer to that. I don't know though.
Yeah, I mean, I've checked out all the albums more recently too, just kind of review them all. I mean, you know, even kind of like I don't, like mainly I was trying to check out random songs on YouTube so I can kind of skip around a little bit. You know, just like let's check this one. You know, not I'm horrible at remembering like song titles. So
no, I'm the same.
So way. If you tell me do a song timeout, I can't tell you what album it's off of or anything.
Yeah,
so I'm just kind of like I really wanted to get like the full mix of them all so that you can kind of like, you know, get the overall like the sound that you have. You can tell it's Ghost Bath, you know, even though it's like moods change and stuff like that, you know. So which and I like it too. And you mentioned like how people didn't really like the vocals. I love the vocals. I think they're.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Like the high pitched.
Yeah.
Like, okay. Yeah, so, usually people love them or hate them. Nobody's just like, oh, I don't know. They're either into it or not. So.
Yeah, I mean, I could totally go either way sometimes with the vocals. I mean, I can be pretty picky. You know, it's like one little, you know, difference could be like mean a lot, but you know, it really fits the music. I think, you know, totally in the mood. So it's, I mean, anything else I think would not be as good. So yeah, I think you hit it right on there with those vocals.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, when the first band I heard that kind of did those kinds of vocals was called Silencer. Have you heard of them?
No.
Oh, okay. You should check them out. It's like me, but a little more crazy. So, okay. When I first heard those, I was like laughing at it. I thought it was hilarious. I'm like, and I had to like show everyone. I'm like, check this out. And then eventually, listening to it enough, I started liking it more and more. And I was like, oh, okay, I should probably try doing this myself. And so, yeah, I had the idea for those vocals like when I started the project. It's kind of a staple in like DSBM, the genre. Depends how much you listen to that genre. It's kind of a niche genre, but a lot of them use those kinds of vocals.
So it sounds like you experiment with a lot of songs. So like what different instruments do you all play, or what have you all experimented with?
I mean, growing up, I played like all the band instruments, like the viola, trumpet, saxophone, piano. I learned the piano on one of those light up pianos, like the keys light up where you're supposed to play to teach you.
Yeah.
That's how I learned like a few classical songs. And so I still play the piano. I don't play those other instruments. And then guitar, obviously, and bass a little bit. Just to like track, I can do bass. And then I think that's it. It's all I really use right now. I could probably, like drums, I'm not good enough to record on. I could I could keep a beat, but not enough to want to like record it or anything. I just haven't played them in a while, and it's hard. It's hard to play drums if you don't have like the space or the if you're in an apartment or something.
Mm-hmm.
Can't you have to like rent a spot. So, but yeah, mostly my main instrument is just guitar. I've been playing it for how many years now? 18 years, 19 years. So that's just my instrument of choice.
Any thoughts of doing any more like solo work, like on your own, like something completely different, like Ghost Bath?
I do have like a bunch of vaporwave projects. I do some of them, or a lot of them are like secret aliases that nobody knows that it's me. I just like doing it that way. It's kind of fun. So that's what I'm mostly experimenting on my own. Other solo, I mean, I've thought of doing like kind of like fantasy based metal one person projects. I was gonna do sort of a Game of Thrones one, and then season 8 happened, so I didn't do that.
That threw you off a little bit.
Yeah, I was like, I don't want to do this anymore.
I hear you on that one.
And yeah, I mean, right now, I would like to do it. It's just a matter of like having the time to do it because I just moved. Exactly 1 month ago, actually. I got here to Pittsburgh. We just got a house, so I have to like do all the house stuff. We were cleaning, painting rooms, fixing stuff, all that fun stuff, figuring out all the utilities. I've just been busy every day trying to get everything set up here. Like we still have to get our car inspected for Pennsylvania, all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. So if I had more time, maybe in the future. Not right now, though. I have to work on the label and Ghost Bath basically right now. So
cool. I had another question. I just sort of blanked my mind. I got everything I had pre-written. I already asked already, but you know, just for the sake of conversation, I like to just kind of throw them out there as they pop in my head.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. They're just talking about Nuclear Blast. How you said you, if you wanted to do another album, I mean, if you just say our next album, we want to sign with you. I mean, they're pretty chill where they're just like, you know, let's do some details and write it out or something. I mean,
you never know. I mean, if they just sold, I think Nuclear Blast just sold, and so they have like different owners now than when we first got signed. And so I don't know. I mean, I know Monty Connor, the one who signed us, really likes this new album. It just depends. It's kind of like selling yourself again because you have to like you have to get a new contract. So we'd probably want to at least come up with the idea, maybe some cover ideas, title, do some demos, and then sort of present it to them and be like, hey, we want to work with you again. What do you think of this? What kind of deal could we work out if they are interested? It's not like guaranteed or anything, but yeah, like if they'll have us, I think we probably would work with them again, but I'm not opposed to like showing it to other labels. I'm friends with a ton of different labels, so I can hit them up, be like, hey, you guys want to put this out? So we'll see.
Cool. Well, I guess that's all I have since I'm drawing blanks. So yeah, definitely I was excited that to do this interview with you and that we got it going on, and I'm definitely excited to hear like more the other releases, the teasers for the next album. You know, when that comes out in August or October too, I'll be checking that out. And we do have reviews on our website, so I'll make sure that we get it reviewed too. Because
cool.
You know, so yeah, once we get the whole release set up and stuff, or you know, on Bandcamp or everywhere else where is it just they just put it everywhere that's like
anywhere you can get music,
Spotify
basically.
And every place else, just
wherever you want, Amazon, Spotify, Apple, whatever.
So is I know, like, I saw the Self-Loather. I mean, was there like a different website for every album you put out? You know, selfloather.com with the Self-Loather album. I mean, is that what Nuclear Blast does? They have the URL for the latest album coming out.
No, I just did that on my own. I was like, oh,
Oh, okay.
let's do like a website. And so
Yeah.
I just built it on Squarespace or whatever. Put
Oh,
like
oh,
the
okay.
video up top, the links below, all our like social links, and I changed it so like when we first like had the teasers, I had the teaser video up, and then when we got the single, I changed it over. So when the next one comes on Friday, I'll just put that one up. Just I don't know. I thought it was a cool idea just to have a website up.
Yeah, yeah. That was good. I was just Googling and it was like, when you put in ghost bath and you're thinking, okay, ghostbath.com, but it's like self-loader, which is
Somebody bought ghostbath.com and they're trying to sell it for like 5,000. I don't want it. Like the
oh, geez.
URL. Yeah. Like, I'll just put the album name, I guess. I'm not paying 5,000 for this. It sucks because somebody originally bought it or claimed it, and they messaged me. They're like, "Hey, I have this for you. You can use it whenever you want." And I was like, "Oh, cool." And so I did use it, and then I let the subscription lapse on it, and so I lost it. And then somebody else grabbed it up, and now they're trying to resell it. So I did have ghostbath.com, but I messed it up. So yeah, selfloather.com.
Yeah,
Yep.
that sounds good. Yeah, we'll go with that. So,
Mm-hmm.
well, cool. I guess we'll wrap this up. Thanks a lot. I'll get this out as soon as possible. Definitely want to keep in touch. And I'll, be in contact too once your album comes out, so we can get it reviewed and everything for you.
Sure,
And
sounds
definitely
good.
let me know if you ever, I'll keep an eye out too. I mean, I guess you don't have to let me know if you're coming to Madison. I'll keep an eye out on the tour dates and stuff whenever there is some again.
Yeah.
So, all right, cool. Well, thanks for the interview.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
All right. See ya.
Bye.